Welcome to episode 9 of the Banko Hoppy Hour. I'm your host, Joe Marino, also known as the Godfather of Beer. We are here, a little bit out of our element, doing a live show here at Catty Corner Pub and Pie, Nazareth edition. And we are here with Tyler, co-owner, and
Thank you for having us.
And his father is absent. He's in Nashville opening up a chain of honky-tonk bars. And then we have over to his right is Doug Lisk. Doug Lisk is a valued employee of Banko Beverage, takes care of our craft, and he's a longtime friend and ally of Tyler. So we're here, and we're just trying to get,
Unofficial co-host.
Yeah,
unofficial co-host.
Yeah, right. Unofficial. Right. So we're just trying to, in the last couple of episodes, we're trying to spotlight, up-and-coming bars that have been around, bars that are celebrating anything. So let's talk a little bit to Tyler about how this all came to pass. I know that you started over at the Catty Corner over in Catty.
Catasauqua.
The famous Mulberry Street, not Little Italy Mulberry Street, but Mulberry Street in Catasauqua. So can you tell us a little bit about how that whole thing came to pass? And then we'll figure out from there how we got to Nazareth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I was younger, I wanted to, my dad was always a business owner. He was actually in the printing business for a very long time. And just his lifestyle and how he, being his own boss, things like that. I wanted to go into that same type of path. I worked at a restaurant when I was younger, and he was a great owner, and I saw his lifestyle, and I was like, all right, this is something that I can get into. And then, went through school, went to business school, learned all the ins and outs of the restaurant business. 2018 came along, I should say. And we decided to give it a go, my dad and I. We said it was time. Catty Corner came available. It was closed for, I think, about 18 months almost. And then we bought it from the old owners there, Chris. Completely gutted the place, started from scratch, and, November 2018 was go time.
Yeah, so I can remember that venue, since I am an elderly gentleman. Then it was Tassie's Tavern.
Yeah,
it was run by a guy named Nelson Tassie, who was at one time
Pre-Catty Corner.
Pre-Catty Corner. It was Tassie's Tavern, and before that it was something else. But
Yeah.
Tassie's Tavern, Nelson sold it to Chris, and then Chris actually and sold it over to these guys.
Yep.
So what's your what experience do you have in the business that made you think that you can get into the tavern business?
I started back when I was 16 years old. I started at a place in Bethlehem called Pizza Como, 50-yard line. And I started as a delivery driver. And I just saw the in and outs of it. And for some odd reason, I decided I wanted to get into this craziness. And like I said, I saw the pizza. That's when the passion started for wanting to make pizzas and have a lot of passion for pizza. And just went from there, just years and years of hard work and just learning from just helping out when I had to help that owner out, and then just learning under his wing as well to be able to
He was a
gain
good
enough
spot
knowledge.
to learn stuff.
Yeah, he was
put
a
a lot
great
on you.
knowledge.
So
Yeah.
that's where we first met.
Yeah,
It was over
Right.
at the Pizza Como,
Yeah.
getting a free slice here and there. And
yeah, easy, not for me. If he hears it, it's not me.
oh, I know. Thanks, Lo.
So I remember when first you first opened up there and like pub and pie. What's going on with this? Because very few people open up a bar and pizza is generally on the menu, maybe, but certainly isn't the highlight of anybody's menu. I know you have an extensive menu at both places, but it's crazy. And then as I went into the place a couple times and saw the kinds of pies you make, you're just not this plain slice, with the shaker of cheese. So like, what are some of your specialties that you make, your specialty pies that you make that you started in Catty and that you brought over here?
Yeah, the pizza side actually grew through the years as we just advanced, and I advanced my knowledge more of just watching and learning things from how other operators do it, just from seeing things online. It's a famous saying: you can put anything on a pizza, it's going to be good. And that's kind of what we did. We now have the one big staple is our pickle pizza. We're famous for our pickle pizza. We sell so many pickle pizzas at both locations. It's just a new craze of pickles. We do something, we call it the Catty Mac. It's basically a Big Mac on a pizza. That's another big signature pie of ours. And then we do a General Tso's, which is like, your General Tso's, like from a Chinese restaurant. Yeah, with sweet Thai chili, broccoli, and, chicken. And that's another big one. You just get so creative with so many different things that you can do on a pizza. And you just continue just to adapt and move with the times and just keep on updating, adding pizzas. I think when we started in Catty, we probably had maybe eight specialty pizzas. And now we're up to probably almost like 20, 22. So, you just got to continue to grow with the times. It's really basically what it is.
What I like about your operation is a lot of places, they have these specialty pies and stuff. You can't get a slice. You know what I mean? You have to end up getting, they're all worth it. But I mean, I go to some other places, they have these specialty pies. They're $30. You know what I mean? And like, hey, I just want a slice. And I always thought that was admirable that I could always come to your place, have one beer, have one slice, any kind. You have specialties. You always have some kind of special. I thought that was pretty cool, the way you do that.
It's the famous saying, what goes better with beer than pizza and wings?
Yeah.
I don't know
it's
anything
a great
really.
combo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of the best combos that you can have.
So I know coming around here, this is going to be at Nazareth. So first of all, why Nazareth?
So,
How many bars are in Nazareth?
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
There's
one
a lot of
reason.
Italian spots.
One more than there were a year ago.
Yeah, no doubt. I met someone who's based off Marissa, who's now my fiance and the mother of my child. She lived in Nazareth her whole time, and I would drive past this location all the time, and it was Mava Joe's for the longest, but then it started to change hands, and I'm like, this is a killer location. You got parking.
Which was pizza.
Huh?
Which was pizza too.
Yeah, which was pizza too, yeah. But more Italian. He's more of Italian dishes though too. He's more of that old. It wasn't like a bar like this, like what we made it today. But I'm like, man, leaving the restaurant where I used to work at and then leaving Catty, I would come back into Nazareth. I'm like, all right, I want to have a beer. It's like closer to home, a burger. You can't go nowhere. You'd have to go up to Wing Gap to score a card, or you don't want to drive all the way over. What is it, Devries?
Yep.
It used to be Devries.
The Goat.
But then, which is now the Goat, and then now they transitioned over. It's just like there's nowhere to go, so we just thought like, all right, this is a good business opportunity, and we were going to put a big addition on the Catty location to be able to handle the volume that we do down there. And then we just looked at the numbers at the time and like, it just doesn't make sense to put it into this building, put it into something that can renovate or generate enough money just to pay for itself in a whole different aspect, and go to a whole different community and give them a little bit of a taste of, what the Catty Corner is.
Right. So looking at the timing, 2018, 2019, I'd have to jog my memory a little bit, and I'm sure you remember it like it was yesterday. What did the COVID have to do? How did that impact getting this place up and running? And, I know it just decimated the bar business in Catty. So I think, you're coming up on 1 year, and now we're in 2025.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about things, you started thinking about this in maybe 2022?
22, 23. We were just coming out of COVID, and things were starting to pick back up. We were open maybe a year and 2 months, and then COVID hit us, I believe. COVID in March. We were getting ready for our second St. Patty's Day. Going to have a big bash. We had a great bash the time before, and then COVID came and whacked us with the restrictions up the wazoo. The fortunate part is with COVID, and was the pizza aspect of it. I think the pizza industry thrived through COVID. All the pizzerias
Delivery,
did a
man.
killer. Delivery. Nobody wanted to go out. We went from having one delivery driver to 7 delivery drivers during COVID. We were actually able to grow our business during COVID, but we used the money that we brought in, we updated. We had, tablet devices for the drivers. We put car signs on the drivers, spent tons of money in marketing for mailers and things like that, stuff that we never did because it wasn't paying for itself to be able to do that. So COVID, we were actually very fortunate to be able to grow our business and having the employees that we had stay with us and hang through it, not picking the easy way out of getting the free money and just, being butt scratchers.
I remember
and
in the
sitting at
bar when
home,
you said you were doing it. I remember being down at Catty and you're like, hey, we're going to Nazareth. I'm like,
That's it.
all right, good luck with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I remember,
A lot of people said that.
a mutual friend of ours had a shirt that said, "Don't be an ass scratcher."
Yeah.
And you guys are like far from it. And I think a lot at one point, our mutual friends, the guys from Joe Ruffino and the pizza guys, they sort of like these guys around COVID, you huddled together and came up with ideas, and you guys kind of fed off your each other. And I think that's where a lot of you, I think when you were saying about the different kinds of pizzas and the different techniques and things to do, that's guys that are survivors and guys that if you work, if you can work, you can do it. You can survive.
If it wasn't for COVID, we never would have met those guys. It was all because of COVID where, they made that Lehigh Valley Pizza Shop page, and a couple guys got in connect, and we all used to meet at Jerry's, who owns the Crust's house and his pool house, and we just sit back, drink, and smoke cigars, and shoot the shit.
Doug, you would love Jerry. You would love
he's a
Jerry.
character. He's
You'd
awesome.
love Jerry, Staten Island guy.
Oh, Staten Island.
He's awesome.
Pal Joey's, that's what I used to eat in Staten Island.
Yeah, he's
Jimmy Max.
awesome. So I remember, when you guys were working on this, and you're the working guy. Your dad works a lot, but he's also the front man.
He's the brains and the marketing.
He's the
and
front
all
guy.
that.
He's the guy that'll walk 3 blocks down the street. I don't know when he does those live shots and he's walking.
Yeah, he does.
What does he do? I mean, does he have like a stick in front
No,
of
he
him?
just holds the phone right in front of him.
Long arm. He's got a long arm.
That's it. Just walking down the street.
And he's kind of like every once in a while he kind of huffs and puffs a little bit, but I enjoy it. Finally, and he does a lot of live things, and from Catty, and that's not so much here because this is kind of your gig, and he's kind of like conquered down the Catty thing. But
He does both. He does. We manage both together. It's a great team we have, and with his marketing expertise and his wanting to be the face of the business and not afraid to talk in front of a group of anybody and just hit a button like that and just say, hey, this is me. And he goes live from both pages. He's got it synced up. And he does his thing. He puts his mic on when he needs to because he got too many complaints of I can't hear you. So what he do? He went on Amazon.
It's kind of cool because
you know what I mean. He loves it. Now he loves the best thing he loves when he like the other days at the airport wearing his Catty Corner shirt. Catty Corner. Oh, you're the guy from the videos. Oh, I know you.
He's really cool. I love it. Because I'll be sitting at home and I'll just be flipping through my phone and there he comes live and then he can go on. I mean, he's got a lot of wind. He got good airtime.
He does.
And
then he's got his
whenever you
signature
guys
move,
have
And then he's done. And he's done.
He says what he needs to say.
Yeah, he's very to the point. But I remember as this place was coming together, like he would do these updates and he would say, okay, we got the floor in, and he'd show the floor. And, hey, we got this and we got this. And I know that, it was kind of coming to crunch time, and it was like, oh, okay, we all know that St. Patrick's Day is this big drinking holiday, and for sure, these guys, they're going to get there for Valentine's Day. Nah, they're going to get there for absolutely got to St. Patrick's Day. And I know you had friends. We have mutual ones like, what are you guys doing? You got to get open. You got to get open. What's he doing? And
it's costing you money sitting there.
Yeah.
It did. It cost us a lot of money sitting there.
But he stuck to his guns. You along with him, and you stuck to your guns and said, hey, if we open, we're doing it right. We're doing it right.
And that's what we did. We pushed a lot of things back, just adding a lot of things. Just as we were building it out, we're like, well, this would look good if you just did it this way. All right, well, that's an extra week of the timeline until we get some things done. And, it was, we wanted to get it open and quick because, one, there's that money aspect. Now, thankfully, we worked and we were very diligent with our money during those times, and we kept a lot of money in our businesses rather than taking it out. And we were able to afford to be able to push it back, almost 6 months because we wanted to open the same day Catty opened, in November 26th. That was our goal. That way we can have it both at the same
Great bar day.
anniversaries.
Great bar day.
Yeah, but it just didn't make sense because we were rushing. We just would have been cutting corners, and you can't. We wanted to come and we knew the bar was going to be set high because of the standard of what we built the brand, the Catty Corner from Catty. So we knew we were going to be underneath the microscope and making sure we were doing it right. And we made sure we wanted to deliver and knock the socks off of people. When you open that front door, back door, the side door going for the takeout, when you open, you look at the place and you go, wow.
I want to hang out. I want to hang out here.
This is the spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing. Anybody that's from Nazareth, and Nazareth's a very tight-knit community, almost like Catasauqua. They opened that door. They were speechless. They didn't know what they were walking into. They're like, this is nothing like what it used to be. It was completely redone.
We were here with the for your friends and family thing.
Yep.
It was absolutely awesome. Yeah. So how many, I guess the biggest thing is, how do you staff a place like that? You know what I mean? It's like, you just don't hey, Dad, let's go.
Yeah, no,
open the door, let's tap some beers.
It took us, we had to attempt to set a date on when we were going to open. We had a couple dates in mind. And then it was just like, all right, let's see how many applications we can roll with. And we were actually very, very surprised and very fortunate with how many people applied at first and how many type of candidates we got. We were able to staff the place. Really, within 3 weeks, it probably took us to staff. And then we opened late, and that's why we modified our hours in the beginning, because we didn't come 11 to 11:30, 7 days a week. We were closed Sundays. We didn't open until 4 o'clock. We had to.
There's a wheel spinning happening right now. Sorry to interrupt you, but
every half an hour during happy hour, every half an hour.
Okay, we're good.
just want to make sure you know we're live. There's a spin happening as we speak. Hold on.
Right. Beer drink.
Yeah, it's a good time to drink. Cheers. Good job. Again, I want to note the bearings that they have in this wheel. This thing spins.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of grease. So
It's powered by a 392 Hemi.
So basically,
Keep going. No whammy.
Oh, he might get a free spin. Another spin.
Oh,
He's spinning again.
another
Rip
spin.
it up.
Okay, we're back.
Going again.
We're back. Okay, so basically, I would think, would you say that you kind of mirror both operations? So if you do something at Catty, you do it here?
100%. Everything we offer on the menu is exactly down in Catty. Now, we did move 2 names of an items, but they're the same items. He's going again.
Sorry, it's another rip.
I know. He got 2 in a row. He got 2 in a row. We have a Rough Rider burger down in Catty, which we changed the name to a Blue Eagle burger because of, obviously, the Blue Eagle, Nazareth Blue Eagles. And then we have a Catty Woods because of the Catty Woods where they used to free slice.
Slice of pizza. Good
Free
for you.
slice. Yeah.
The beer was next.
Yeah. So there's the Catty Woods that Catty was very famous for. So we made a burger for those guys, and we called that the Martin Burger because that's geared to Martin Guitar, which is right behind us, and it ties into the Nazareth community that way. But everything else we do the same. We do offer different weekend specials though, so that way it doesn't affect either business. So it doesn't pull. I'm gonna go up to Nazareth because it's a nicer atmosphere. It's easier to park, and all those things. It's easier to get into. Like Catty's tight. If you know Catty, that is a different animal down there.
Oh,
Find your
absolutely.
spot.
Parking's rough, and
Find your spot.
you got to get in. You got to wiggle around. You don't got as much space, arm room as you do here at this location. But that's why we keep the specials different. That way, it doesn't affect from either restaurant. Same thing with events. When we have our karaoke nights, we do it on different nights here, and then we do it there at a different night. Our parties, we had our St. Patty's Day party on a Friday here, Saturday over there. Cinco de Mayo will be on a different day. It'll be Friday here, Saturday over there. That way it doesn't interfere with either of the businesses.
So you're looking for a little bit of a crossover clientele, and then hopefully some standards
and we do.
at each
We have
place.
customers that come.
People can go to both places.
Yeah,
on the
we
same,
have customers
the
that
same
live in
week.
Bath that will go to either or. And we want to be able to not interfere with, the business down there and take anything from there. We want to still be able to, feed the families that we employ down there. So that's why we do what we do.
So Tyler, what kind of connections have you made in the Nazareth community? I know you mentioned, you literally share a parking lot with Martin Guitar.
Yeah.
And I'm sure from talk that we've had in the past, they're a great neighbor to you, and you're
They're
a great
awesome.
neighbor to them. So tell us about what your community, what Nazareth has done for you, what you've done for Nazareth. I know you probably support the local football team, baseball team, basketball team. I know you do it in Catty. I'm sure you do it here.
Yeah.
And so it was important for you to call this Catty Corner to keep your brand, but call it Catty Corner Nazareth Pub and Pie.
Yeah. The reason why
tell
we
us about
decided to
that.
keep it the Catty Corner, now obviously the one down in Catasauqua ties to the name of Catty, the Catasauqua, but when me and my dad bought this back in 2018, when we created Catty Corner Neighborhood Pub and Pie, we feel like at this time when it came to Nazareth, we built a brand to where you could take the Catty Corner, despite the ties to the name, to anywhere you go.
You need a
Because it
corner.
ties-
You need a corner, which you have a corner property. again.
absolutely.
Fair enough.
It ties because the brand and the name of Catty Corner ties into the community, because that's where that neighborhood ties into. And that's what our goal was when we set out to Catty. We tied right in. And the same thing we did here. The first thing we did when we bought the business here and we closed, we went right over to Martin Guitar and introduced ourselves, and got to know them. And, when we were fixing up things, they would have their Martin Guitar Day and they were like, hey, can we use your parking lot? I go right ahead.
Free lessons
let it
on
go.
Tuesday. No big deal.
Yeah, I still can't strum a guitar, but it happens. You know what I mean? I look cool carrying one around. And then
You'd be the scene from Animal House. Someone would smash it.
yeah, and then and when we finally opened the doors and everything like that, we made sure we tied right into the sports programs, whether it's little, or the big guys, the high school teams. We do dining donuts left and right for baseball, soccer. We have a lacrosse one for girls. I forget what age it is for lacrosse, and then we have U10 softball dine and donate coming up. We did a teacher association appreciation dine and donate last Tuesday, and just countless gift cards and donations to any
Giving back to the
basket
community,
raffles, churches, whatever. And then also, not only when we do dine and donates, obviously we give you the 10%, but the Catty Corner always puts in their Catty Corner contribution as well. We always take a look. We give you an extra $100, $200, and we give you the Catty Corner extra donation every time we do a dine and donate, or whenever the door opens all the time, and it's like, oh, we need a donation here, we need a gift card for this raffle here, and we don't bat an eye twice. We gift card, this is what we're gonna do, and they'll email my dad left and right, asking about we want to do this and collaborate on that, and we never bat eyes and say no. It's always yes, because that's what we're here for. We're here to the community. The community opened their arms to us and supported us from day one and continue to support us. And we're going to do the same as long as we're here. That's our backbone. The neighborhood part of the the name is that's our point.
That's perfect. Looking around here, I know Catty Corner Nazareth, big sports, football being the big one,
Actually, here wrestling.
wrestling.
Nazareth wrestling is a whole different thing.
I thought you were talking about wrestling.
I'll tell you what.
No, wrestling.
They take it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
It's a whole different animal up here.
I mean,
You get guys that come up and put the wrestling match on. Okay.
yeah.
Look, man, group of
Lehigh Valley. I mean, we got the
Full,
best come out of
full.
here.
You're ruining my segue into you being a Steelers fan.
I'm not a Steeler fan though.
Oh,
That's
your
my
dad is.
It's a
I'm a
Patriots
fan.
Oh, you're a
fan.
Patriots fan?
Patriots.
Oh, my God. Oh,
Unfortunately for this guy.
I'm a Jets fan.
That's
He's a
why we're
Patriots fan. This is why
good
we
friends.
hate each other and
so
love each other.
I know that you guys have a lot of fun whenever, like this past year when the Steelers played the Eagles. Your dad had he had a blast.
He did.
Just
We got a bell.
Just-
at
yeah.
both locations, a Steeler bell. And the bell that we have there, you look at the left-hand side there. If you look on the far side, it has a crack in it because Steelers didn't do good one night. They actually were they were doing good. They got a last-second touchdown, and he rang that bell so hard he cracked it. But unfortunately, they still lost that game. They lost to the Browns. It was that Thursday night game.
Oh,
and they ended
God.
up losing. So he was done with
That's
bells.
bad when you lose to the Browns.
And then the playoff time, the Steeler bell had to get picked up out of the garbage because that one went flying. Actually, Marissa was the bartender. She's like, I just don't think he really meant it. Let me get this out
It's
of the
first
garbage
show.
for him.
Everybody-
You know what I mean?
to say the least, your dad wears his emotions on his sleeve.
No doubt.
And most of the time he's sleeveless.
especially on his long walks.
Yeah, the dog walks.
With
Yeah,
the
so,
videos.
yeah, so what would the actual, if I don't remember, but I'm thinking it's end of May, June when you would be your actual first day here last year?
June 10th.
June 10th.
Will be the 1 year anniversary.
So any plans this year to do something here?
We got a lot of big plans because we never technically did a grand ribbon opening, cutting, and stuff like that. So we're going to combine that all together into one, because it was too late in the summer for when we got our things going. The gears, everything was starting to flow easily, and it was just too late in the year, and it didn't make sense to do it. So we're like, all right, we'll wait till the 1 year anniversary and do a big bash. And we got some big things coming for summertime, closing down the park a lot. That's when we'll talk to our good old buddies at Mark Guitar to see if we can use them to help us out with parking. We'll get a band out back and some cornhole quates.
Maybe a beer truck from Banko.
A beer truck from Banko, a dunk tank.
I love dunk tanks.
Put Doug in the dunk tank. I'll put $100 in.
Yep.
Put a Speedo on. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of people dunking.
We're gonna do it 2 times how we did the grand the grand opening for Catty when we shut down the block out on Mulberry Street. We're gonna take it up 2-3 notches just because we can now, because we don't have to ask for permission to do what we want to do because we own the parking lot. We're doing it on our property. We're gonna have a good time for the community and make sure it's a good bash. And we set the bar at Catty.
No free
Now we
pizza
gotta go
though.
over
Can't
the
do
bar.
it. No free pizza.
You don't know what'll be free that day. You never know. You never know with my dad when he starts walking around.
So if somebody is like picking this up and they want to know the events, how to look for events here at Catasauqua.
Well,
What's the best way?
Right on Facebook is number one, obviously. Everyone's usually got Facebook. It gets posted on, we have 2 pages, Facebook for Catty and then a Facebook for Nazareth. And then you go to our websites. It's actually just came out new, real nice and easy, finally. You can go to Catty Corner Neighborhood Pub and Pie.com and, it's cattycornerpub.com. And it'll give you a link to either go into our Catty location or our Nazareth location. You click there and you go to the events page and it'll show you everything that we got going on.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. How about and you do online ordering for takeout and delivery?
Both places. This will be a little secret. Nazareth is in the process of offering delivery. It'll be through us, but it'll be through a third-party deliverer. We won't have our own delivery people. I employ, my dad and I, we employ almost 90 people between both locations, and in order for us to offer delivery here, we'll probably have to make it over 100 employees, and we just don't probably have the mental capacity to handle 100 employees, just the 2 of us between both locations. And so there's a thing called DoorDash Drive, and they partnered with SkyTab. So now if you order online for delivery, it'll come through us, and you don't have to pay all those extra fees or anything like that. It's all our pricing, and everything. It just gets delivered by a DoorDash driver. And it's real
As long
nice.
as you get the pizza, right?
Huh?
As long as you get the pizza, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's going to be everything, but the prices won't have to be inflated like, most places. You won't have to pay that crazy, extra DoorDash service charge or anything like that because you're ordering off of DoorDash. You're ordering through the Catty Corner, then it comes right through our POS, and we're just using their drivers as the delivery service, and it's way more affordable. But obviously in Catty, you can call us up and order for delivery anytime. We have 5-6 drivers on staff at a time ready to go. So.
And that's awesome. So you guys got it wired.
Yeah.
1 year in, you're doing good. So you don't have a date for any of these events. We'll just have the people just get onto the website, follow on Facebook. It's always good. You get to see some of Jay's lives, which is good. Big shout out to Jay. Happy
Mr.
birthday,
Honky
my
Tonk.
friend, Mr. Honky Tonk. He's probably line dancing in the airport right now.
Or not. I mean, he's stuck there, so I don't think he's line dancing.
He could be.
probably
You
got a
never know,
line.
Jay.
He got a couple gray gooses in front of him.
He
I'm
could
sure.
be doing anything.
That's
so,
what he's doing.
Hey, I really appreciate Tyler.
Absolutely. I appreciate you
bringing
guys
us
coming
in
on.
here, and really appreciate you hosting us here. And cheers to Banko, cheers to Catty Corner, cheers to the Hoppy Hour. We're out, Ralphie.